Hi everybody, my name is Pew Pew Choo Choo, and today we will be taking a quick look at Lock and Load Heroes of Stalingrad, one of the in-development games currently being developed by Matrix Games and Slithering. So, Lock and Load Heroes of Stalingrad obviously focuses on the Battle of Stalingrad, and the unique thing about this is it's actually based upon a board game, and it takes a look at very small-scale um, tactical engagements, right? So, starting off, we have quite a nice little selection of tutorials and scenarios, but we also have this test scenarios section right here, which I'm not going to use simply because this is a beta build of the game. It's not obviously released yet. But for now, let's take a look at one of the campaigns. So you have two campaigns here. They're each about, I would say, a good 10 missions long each. And we're going to take a look at the first battle here inside the German campaign called the Kalach Crossing. And of course you get this nice little comic book-esque dialogue. That's kind of how the story progresses inside the game, which is rather nice. But let's go to the combat portion. So now I've always been a big fan of war games on the PC. I've never actually played any of the board games out there simply because in my area, at least I live in Canada, by the way, it's actually quite hard to find these. But for now, let's get on started. So, first and foremost, it is very small scale unit action. You see here that we start the game off with two squads. We have Lieutenant Koch and Lieutenant Wirtz, each leading about, let's see, these units are like 2 each. We've got the commander himself and about 8 units inside each squad. And the unique thing about this is that the troops can actually hold different firearms. So, for example, this squad right here has a MG42. So now let's go and start working our way up across the map. Our objectives are highlighted on these glowing tiles right here, but it's also listed here. So let's start off with Koch's men. Now, this game, it has a rather unique command and control system, so I want to move all of my units this turn, but I don't want to do it right now immediately. So let's get Lieutenant Koch to issue orders to to some of his infantrymen, and let's get them to move here. Alright, so everything's fine. So then we finish this this impulse, as it calls it, and what essentially these rounds are inside a turn is that it's essentially more onto the I go you go system, where we can move one of our units forward. The enemy takes a sub turn, and then we can move the majority of our units forward. See, this was the thing that I was trying to wait for. I didn't want to expose all my troops at once, so I kind of moved my troop up with a scouting unit or with an advanced guard up forwards. But it looks like the enemy didn't really do that much damage. And plus we're inside a wooden house, so that doesn't really do much, but let's get Lieutenant Wirtz's men to move up now. So we have identified one enemy troop. Let's get these troops over here to move up into this tile. See what happens. Yep, some more enemies. So as you can see here, the defense and the attack and the casualty loss things get. Ooh, what's this? Oh, it's another dialogue box. Just standing in the bullets and just absolutely wrecking the place. Save that girl! Okay, it's apparently one of our objectives, but okay, I guess we'll do that. So, as I was saying, we are to, you know, what was I saying? I was saying something about the combat resolution, but yeah, it's done with dice. So let's see what we can do with Lieutenant Wirtz's men on this impulse. As you can see here, the AI gets the option to do another turn, but I mean, I don't think it actually did do anything. simply because they're well. It looks like the enemy only has 4 squads, right? So I'm gonna get another squad to move right there, and I just want my troops to absorb the firepower right now. See if any damage goes towards them, and it looks like they are fine. Now bear in mind that even though we're doing all of these actions, it's still turn number 1, and what essentially I want to do on this turn is that I just want to maneuver and just beat the living crap out of these troops over here. Unless the enemy manages to suppress us, and it looks like the enemy rolled quite a nice number, but we also rolled a 6. So I believe we're fine. Yep, we're fine for now, and I just want to move inside the hex, and you can see here that we can actually begin a melee attack. Let's start that melee attack. Now let's see the resolution behind here. So it looks like we started a brawl inside that house. We assaulted it, but it looks like the defense still stayed alive, and our troops are also alive. So I guess they didn't really hit each other. It was just more or less a smoke and mirrors type of thing. And now there's a few more rounds of combat to be done, but that's alright. It looks like that brawl was restarted. Since the enemy rolled and got initiative that turn, it looks like we're gonna have to wait out the brawl. Normally I think if you get initiative, you can really decide on what action to commence, but for now we finished that fight, eliminated the enemy troop, and our troops and our soldiers here are back in action. So let's get Lieutenant Wirtz here to actually let's get these troops with the MG42. Nope, actually, no. Huh, how should I do this? How should I do this? Now with the MG42, it gets the squad 2 more firepower, and it increases their range by 9. So if we hover over the German infantry squad, we can see that they have a firepower of 1, a range of 9, a movement of 4, and a morale of 5, and that's all listed on the scorecard here. And Wirtz has a leadership of 1 and a movement of 6. So we have 3 targets here. We have one Russian soldier with a DP-28, a machine gun, a light machine gun. We have one guy here with a rifle, and we have Lieutenant Smirnov here with a second squad of guys covering the river crossing. What should we do? What should we do? Let's get these guys to move up. And just hope that we roll consecutively high numbers to keep our squad alive. And it looks like they are alive, although they're shaken up. That's alright though. That's perfectly fine, in fact. Another impulse. Let's get our troops to... Yep. Let's get our troops, along with Lieutenant Wirtz, to suppress this gun. German squad cannot fire. That might be a problem, but then again were just inside a melee. Ah, that's why. So it looks like they're gonna have to sit still. Let's get Lieutenant Wirtz to try to spot the enemy over here. Roll the 3, spotted the enemy over here, this is perfect. And then let's get the MG42 squad. Actually, let's get all of Lieutenant Koch's men to put some fire onto the enemy here. Let's see what happens to the squad. So, it looks like we fired upon that squad. They are now suppressed. It looks like most of the enemies are shut down. So we're gonna move our troops forward and hopefully assault that lone man inside there with this squad. Do they have any more movement points? Yes, they do. Perfect. Removing helpless Soviet units. Ah, maybe since they were shaken up, it looks like we don't actually have to go into a brawl and actually, beat the living crap out of them. And just, I guess we take them over and they surrender. That's kind of cool. And well, as you can see there, our squad remains shaken. This game does have quite a large focus on the command and control side of things, so we do need a leader to re-rally these 2 men over here, just kind of out in the middle of the road. They don't move back without our command. But we have been making good ground. Two of the, or rather half of the enemy force is already dead. What should we do? What should we do now? Let's see. Well, let's get Koch to order one of his squads, unselect all, grab one of these guys, and they're gonna be the poor unlucky souls that have to run across the wall of fire. Let's hope we roll some good numbers, and we did. Hopefully they take even more fire from this guy. It's always good when they can only fire once, so thank you, anonymous German soldiers. You have soaked up the bullets for the rest of the people. Now that that's done, we can move Koch's men forwards and move them into a better location, really. So let's get Koch's men to all go forwards and rest inside that place. This game is primarily made for people to play hot seat and to play multiplayer. It does have a nice campaign here, as you can see, but ultimately it is meant mostly for playing head-to-head with others. And I'll actually see if I can get a multiplayer partner for this, because as you can see here, the AI right now, it doesn't necessarily take full initiative in using its phases, but then again, it is on its defense, and I'm not necessarily perfectly sure about how that works. Alright, so it's our turn again. Let's get Lieutenant Koch to spot the enemy. You always need to do this because you do lose contact with the enemy if they don't shoot after a while. You know, it's just to make sure. And it looks like he failed to spot anything, so we're gonna have to go with Plan B. Pass the control around, and get one of our guys to run up. I'm actually really surprised we haven't taken any losses yet, despite me telling these troops essentially to just run out of cover. And you too, you will run as well. There you go. They should be fine. Let's get this MG to open up on this house. Put some bullets on them, see if they get suppressed. And it looks like Lieutenant Smirnov is suppressed, so that is pretty good. Down here, it's at the control panel. You'll notice that I have quite a lot of different buttons. Inside this particular scenario, we don't see all too many of the in-depth, the support weapons located inside the game, like mortars and MG42s and all that. And I think we'll cover that later on, inside another episode. There we go, another successful assault. With plenty of time left, it looks like we've already secured this side of the river, and quite possibly we only need to eliminate Smirnov's little detachment over there. I'm gonna try to rally these troops again, but they probably cannot. Yeah, they can't they cannot do that. Looks like the Russians played a special card to try to rally their men, but unfortunately they could not. Oh, no, they could. There we go. So once again, let's try to bait out some fire from the Russians. Let them shoot at that guy for a little bit. Did we suffer any casualties? Shaken hero generation. Ooh, a hero emerges. So, it is kind of called Heroes of Stalingrad for a reason. You can generate heroes, essentially individuals of great... Oh no, did the hero die immediately after he... No, he's here. So, you can generate heroes out of a few things like taking or being shot at, and let's see this guy. Each hero has one of these different cards. This one last time. This card can only be played one time in a scenario. All units may attempt to rally even if not stacked with a leader or a hero. So what essentially that can do for us is that if we play the skill card from this menu, we can rally the troops back here even though they are not near one of our commanders. So Lieutenant Koch doesn't necessarily have to run back now to rally these units. In fact, he can move his troops forward for an assault, which is rather nice. Now let's see what we should do. Let's get Captain Koch to move his men down the road like that. Let's get Lieutenant Wirtz to move to the girl, the civilian that was supposed to escort. So let's do something like that. And in theory, we should be able to pick up this DP-28 if we have another squad, but unfortunately we don't, so oh well. Just gonna do that to cap out both of these objectives and finish that phase. Alright, another pass. I believe there are 3 rounds of impulses or movements during every turn. I think it could be more though. Can we play that skill card yet?
I can't do it.
Oh well, they will not rally this turn, I guess. Let's get these men to move forward. Then we will return fire. That's fine with me. Oh, they lost 1 person. Boo-hoo. That's fine with me. I want to finish this this turn in a timely manner, so let's get these 2 troops to actually go in there. Oh, some more enemy troops. Taking a lot of fire this turn. Our hero was wounded but not killed, which is a very good thing. But at least that opens up a way for Lieutenant Koch to move inside there. So Lieutenant Koch with 1 squad, so 3 men in total, fight against the Russian troops. 3 men in total. Let's see what happens here. Oh, actually, we get a benefit for more leadership and more firepower. We have a firepower of 4. And I think, yeah, that killed, yeah, it killed the Russian squad, but it looks like Lieutenant Smirnov is alright, but he's been taken prisoner. So that's alright. Let's see if any of our troops are going to rally. They're probably not going to rally, but everything should be fine. And these troops still cannot rally because they're not near a commander. So here, let's see what we can do. So we have 2 units right here who can make a charge inside. That's a little risky though. So what I think I'll do is I'll actually get Lieutenant Koch. Does Koch need to survive? No, he does not. I know, it's a little... Actually, let's just get the MG42 team to... or 34 team to move over there. They're gonna take fire. That's alright though, they haven't done anything. And we're gonna finish that impulse. And now that there's only 1 troop left, we're actually gonna go and assault them with this group. Unless we can't. Nope. I kinda wanted to assault them with both of the troops, but it looks like only the hero is present. That's kinda odd, but the hero shifts favor into the favor of the attacker, so it looks like we will be able to win this fight. Yep, that hero by himself managed to take on 2 Soviet units and actually win that brawl, which is fantastic. And now that it looks like all resistance has been cleared up, all we had to do is really just move our troops into these hexes. Initiative roll. These troops remain unrallied, but that's alright. We don't need them to be rallied right now, because we've already won the scenario. So let's see, let's move these troops back in there. They're gonna capture that, alright. Move these troops over there. And there we go, major victory. So that is Lock and Load Heroes of Stalingrad, available from Matrix Games soon. Bear in mind that it's currently still in development. My name is Pew Pew Choo Choo, and I hope you guys like and subscribe to the video. Bye bye! Well, actually, I'm gonna pop inside one more time and give you guys a quick look at the second battle inside the campaign. So, last time, we played on this map over here where we won. Continuing off of that, this is actually the second battle inside the German campaign. You can see it here that we finally get access to tanks, some reinforcements, and all of our men are still here. And for the second part, we're actually supposed to advance into this huge village on the on the flip side of the map, I guess. It has this kind of neat board game-esque feel to the map, how it's like folded up in 3 different sections. And well, you can see that this is actually a pretty big encompassing game for the scope or the scale. And well, that's kind of all I wanted to share. Bye bye.